Hey, this is really interesting. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones appears not only to have completely turned on Donald Trump at this point, but seems to be lining up behind Ron DeSantis. Now, little bits and pieces of this we've picked up over the last couple of months. There was a story from a couple of months ago where over vaccines, Alex Jones seemed to have turned on Donald Trump. Recently, I believe during an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Alex Jones said something about a DeSantis Green presidential ticket. But now Alex Jones straight up is saying DeSantis is better than Trump. Let's take a listen to this. This was from a recent episode of InfoWars.
I've gone from liking DeSantis to loving DeSantis to my instincts have told me he's good, and now he's got my full backing.
Wow.
He's the real deal. He's better than Trump. I'm not trying to pick favorites here. I want Trump to get jealous and become more like DeSantis. We all need to be more like DeSantis. He's a gentleman. He's smart. He's a family man. He's a patriot. He's a veteran. He is our leader. I mean, if you got to know about who's leading the fight against the New World Order, it's Tucker Carlson and it's DeSantis.
This is a major, for Alex Jones to declare someone else his leader. I know it's very easy to laugh all of this stuff off and go, Alex Jones, it is actually, it's horrifying, but it actually there is a movement here. And when they declare a leader, it actually matters.
For classy men that are gentlemen, that really care about everybody, that I would say are the best examples of leadership in America, it's DeSantis and Tucker Carlson. I'm obviously the shock trooper that, is the Kraken you release. And I'm proud to be that. But I can tell you that my job has been to expose this and bring in the men and bring in the women. I use kind of a John the Baptist analogy. God told me that. God's like,
Alex Jones is John the Baptist now. Look at how sick this is. But again, if they are getting behind DeSantis, it actually does matter.
You are going to launch the attack. You are going to prepare the ground. Your people are going to prepare the ground, and then you watch the leaders will rise. And we're seeing that, and all of us are rising, ladies and gentlemen. But I just give credit where it's due. It's people like DeSantis and people like Tucker Carlson. I've almost got Rogan super hardcore. He's almost there. He gets super hardcore.
I don't know if that's true, by the way, that he almost has Rogan. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
And then he kind of goes back a little. But I've just got to spend more time with him. I love Joe. We can hang out anytime I want. Anytime I call him, let's go get dinner. Hey, hang out. Sometimes we hang out like twice a week. Joe is really such a sweetheart but he doesn't want to be in the middle of the fight. Not because he's a coward. He's almost embarrassed to be that deep in the fight. And it's just.
Okay. So Alex Jones here making it clear that DeSantis is their leader. Interestingly enough, when you look at the money line, one of the great things about America, great or terrible, you can bet on anything you want. And people bet on who is the Republican nominee going to be. And it has not shifted significantly. If you go to predictit.org, you can look at the betting markets on a lot of these different questions. And the question, who will win the 2024 Republican nomination, it's pretty steady, but DeSantis is very close to Trump. Trump, about 38 cents of every dollar is being bet on Trump will be the nominee, and 29 cents of every dollar is being bet on Ron DeSantis is going to be the nominee. So let's put it this way. This margin for Trump right now, in terms of who people believe will be the nominee for the Republicans in 2024, this is one scandal away from reversing. If Trump has some major scandal that's really embarrassing among the Republicans, and of course his most devoted followers don't care, but if it's something that people who are still slightly connected to reality are turned off by, that 9-point, that's a 4.5 point swing, right? In the sense that if Trump loses 4.5 and DeSantis gains 4.5, you've got a tie for the Republican nomination. Those are precarious numbers for Donald Trump, given that we are 2.5 roughly years out from the 2024 election. So it's a race to the bottom, believe me, but it's a race to the bottom that we care about because the consequences are unimaginably huge, as I talked about earlier. Republicans winning elections in the next 2 election cycles imperils American democracy. And so that's why we care whether Alex Jones is abandoning Trump or not, and he does indeed seem to be. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts about who you believe will be the Republican nominee. If it's something you're already thinking about, you can find me on Twitter at dpacman. It is April 1st, and it is great to be here, and we've got a packed program for you coming up today. It is a brand new year. Maybe you have goals around getting in better shape, maybe cutting back on sugar. That's why you should check out our longtime sponsor, Magic Spoon. Magic Spoon tastes exactly like the delicious sweet breakfast cereals you loved as a kid, but Magic Spoon has 0 grams of sugar, 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net carbs. So it's perfect if you're doing low carb or keto, or if, like me, you just try to limit your sugar intake. You can build your own variety pack with flavors like cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, cinnamon, cookies and cream, waffle maple, blueberry. That's my favorite. Magic Spoon lets you enjoy a sweet, delicious snack without the guilt. You can stick to your goals and still treat yourself. And if you don't love Magic Spoon as much as I do, they'll give you all of your money back, no questions asked. Magic Spoon is giving my audience $5 off when you go to magicspoon.com/Pacman and use the promo code Pacman